world. Milkman, Mr. Milk Tassie, coming back at you with another episode, splashing the fishbowl. And on today's episode, don't mind my mouth for select. I just got through eating. Good eats, man. Good eats. We just got through eating some good eats. Make sure y'all go check out the new shorts. We got Black Rambo just popped up on the timeline. Yeah, that boy going dummy with the new chopper too. But yeah, just wanted to say, I appreciate all y'all old subscribers, all y'all new subscribers, all y'all returning subscribers. This is Millionaire Mission Milkman, Mr. Milk Tasty, splashing in the fishbowl, coming back at you with another episode. And on today's episode, baby, whoever that is, appreciate you because you hit the like button immediately as soon as you came in the building. I like your etiquette. Appreciate that. That's gonna help the algorithm go through the roof. Y'all already know how we do. We got a satchel on our back. We try to drop that and grab another one. We ain't worried about the weekend and how the Lord went. We not think about that. Was last week. This a new week, baby. It's new money. Every day is another day that God blessed us to get up and get some more money. Yes, I'm still believing in God. You thought I forgot just because I questioned? Thought I lost faith just because I questioned? No. I might question God tomorrow. What's up, B? Keisha B, I should have knew that was you coming through with the like. Appreciate you. I'm cooling, just splashing in the fishbowl. Decided to come through for the late night. I meant to stop yesterday when I was on the way down. Y'all gotta forgive me if I've been slacking on my lives, cause the lows been like back to back to back. Like it ain't. I barely been having time to get them shorts up. Thank God for the satchel being back to back. That bag been coming. God keep it coming. So I run it all the way up and my cup runneth over. What you on out there? They appreciating you back at work today. I know you back at work. They appreciating you over there. You know I'm on it like I want it. You say you went back to work too though, ain't it? GG, what's up, my G? Just cooling, man. Over here thanking God because we made it safely. We made it through the day. We still splashing on this millionaire mission. We know the millions on the way. Can't wait till they get here. Yeah, they be needing you at work, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you take them unexpected days off and they like, oh shit, is she quitting? Yeah, they be glad to see you come back to work. Like, oh. Especially when you're a good worker, hard worker, like, hey, come in and do my job. And don't bother nobody. I don't want to hear all that extra shit. Just let me do my job. Let me go home, get my check. That's it. Splash in the fishbowl, but don't forget, y'all need to be coming up with your own business. I had to hit the horn to wake you up and make sure you're awake because I see it's a lot of people in here, but only one person hit the like button, and that was Keisha B. So what's up with you, GG? You ain't hit the like button. Lexi, what's up? Lexi hit that like button. JP hit that like button. Curtis Knight hit that like button. Like, is he begging for likes? You motherfucking right, because I understand the algorithm. I understand the analytics now. If y'all hit the like button, that's going to make YouTube say, oh, his live going crazy. And the numbers just going to keep going crazy. But I appreciate y'all for all the subscribers, for real. And what we doing tonight, y'all, we splashing in the fishbowl. Give me 1 second. Hold up. We get this together right here, right quick. Get this together right quick. Right now. We're going to get this together right now. Not later on, right now. Got to get this together right now. Let's go get it in. You can go get your friend. Tell them we about to get it in. Right now. Right now. We're about to get it in right now, y'all. My bad. What's up? Yeah. This stream is so cool. I can't hold my grandma's face and sleep. What the hell? Some appreciate me and others don't like structure. I'm a manager. That part. Yes. All humans. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. I was finna say all humans hate rules and discipline. Nah, it's not true. A lot of people like to cooperate with the whatever's going on, all right? Some people don't. I just so happen to fall on the some people don't part. God knows. That's why I have to pray extra hard, y'all, because if y'all like me and you don't like people telling you what to do, you don't like authority, you don't like, you feel me? Like, you just like to be free. I just like to be free. I just like to be me and do what the fuck I want to do. Well, you can't. You can't do what the fuck you want to do because there's a whole book with rules of how to live righteously. And to break it down simply, it says, love your neighbor like you love yourself. And love God first and don't put nobody above him. That's all the book boils down to, is loving your neighbor like you love yourself and putting no other God before this God right here. That's what the book boils down to. Right, strangely a stranger. That's what's up. What we stopped at, you know what, I think we started at 55, so we're supposed to be starting on 56, okay. Let's go ahead and get our prayers in there. Dear Lord Father, you have kept us safe through the ice roads, and we even made it out of the ice for right now. But if I got to go back in it, I ask you to keep me safe, Lord Father up in heaven. I thank you for keeping me safe, not letting me skate off the side of the road or hit anybody, harm anybody. I ask you to continue to keep me from harming anybody, hitting anybody harming and hitting me. Any crashes, any DOT, any accidents, any blowouts, any breakdowns, any load shifts. Lord, keep all that stuff from happening in Jesus' name. I ask you, I thank you for forgiving me of my sins. I thank you for your mercy, your grace, and for your son, Jesus Christ, dying on the cross for my life and all those that's here life. I ask that I get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as I read your word. May the person listening get knowledge, wisdom, understanding to read your word. And in case they are atheists or orphan, that they realize that you are real and you are their father. In Jesus' name, I pray that you watch over my family, friends, and my enemies. Even watch over that shining mind. Keep us all safe at all times. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Plead the blood over my life. I get right. You know what I'm saying? Jesus is Lord over here. So all demons and devils can run the hell away right now. This is your time before you get slapped down by my Father up in heaven from unbeseen lightning that we don't even see. We need 3 more lights. Hit the like button, friends. That's what I'm talking about, Keisha B. You look like that guy that robbed you last night. Unless you was loading up this trailer and I took the whole load that you put on the trailer. If you wasn't on the forklift, and I was robbing you by you doing your job and putting shit on this forklift, then I ain't that guy. They say everybody got a twin in the world, so just make sure when you go back for your payback, Josh, you get the right one and not this one, son. Don't come over here talking about, hey, you robbed me. It ain't gonna go well for you. Especially if I tell you, nah, that wasn't me, and then you persist. It's gonna be a problem. I'm just saying. Let's get to it. Supplication for deliverance and grateful trust in God. Supplication for deliverance and grateful trust in God. For the choir director, according to Jonathan L. Rohib King, a Makatam of David, when the Philistines seized him at Gath. Be gracious to me, O God, for man has trampled upon me. This is Psalms 56. For anybody that's, I'm not talking when we meet. Sir, whatever. It's 4 lights now, so I appreciate y'all. Yeah, they going up. Josh, pay attention to what I'm saying right here. I'm reading the Bible. Jesus Christ is Lord. Joshua, are you a demon? Jesus Christ is Lord. I heard all demons have to run away when you say Jesus Christ is Lord. Devils and demons must flee when you confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. On this channel over here, when we splashing in the fishbowl on Milktastic TV, Jesus Christ is Lord. So, there you go. Eat that up. Be gracious to me, O God. We on Psalms 56 for anybody that's following along. Be gracious to me, O God, for man has trampled upon me. Fighting all day long, he oppresses me. My foes have trampled upon me all day long. For there are many who fight proudly against me. When I am afraid, I will put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise. In God I have put my trust. I shall not be afraid. What can mere man do to me? All day long they distort my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They attack, they lurk, they watch my steps, as they have waited to take my life. Because of wickedness Cast them forth in anger. Put down the people, O God. You have taken account of my wanderings. Put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Then my enemies will turn back in the day when I call. This I know, that God is for me. In God whose word I praise, in the Lord whose word I praise, in God I have put my trust. I shall not be afraid. What can man do to me? Your vows are binding upon me, O God. I will render thank offerings to you. I will render thank offerings to you. For you have delivered my soul from death, indeed my feet from stumbling, so that I may walk before God in the light of the living. That was 56 Psalms. We're going to go ahead to 57 Psalms. Prayer for rescue from prosecutors. For the choir director set to Al-Tasha, a Makatim of David, when he fled from Saul in the cave. Be gracious to me, O God, be gracious to me, for my souls take refuge in you. In the shadow of your wings I will take refuge until destruction passes by. I will cry to God Most High, to God who accomplished all things for me. He will send from heavens to save me. He reproaches him who tramples upon me. God will send forth his loving kindness and his truth. My soul is among lions. I must lie among those who breathe forth fire. Even the sons of men whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongues are a sharp sword. Be exalted above the heavens, O God. Let your glory be above all the earth. They have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They dug a pit before me. They themselves have fallen into the midst of it. My heart is steadfast, O God. My heart is steadfast. I will sing, yes, I will sing praises. Awake, my glory. Awake, harp and lyre. I will awaken the dawn. I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the peoples. I will sing praises to you among the nations. For your loving kindness is great to the heavens, and your truth to the clouds. Be exalted above the heavens, O God. Let your glory be above all the earth. And that is chapter 56 and 57. I don't understand that language. Joshua, did you not just hear me say, like, I believe in the God of the Bible, the God of David, the God of Abraham, and you're on here making threats to me? Let me just tell you one thing about my God. My God gave David in this book the power to beat the shit out of a lion and to fuck up a bear. Do you not think it's the same God that's going to give me the power to fuck up anybody that comes trying to do harm to me? Because I believe it's the same God, and I believe he's going to give me that power. I'm sorry, so don't come messing with this sleeping giant, because God's just going to empower me to do things to you that probably you're going to be going to meet him pretty quick to the upper room. I'm sorry. I don't want to send you there. You probably got people that love you here and everything. I'm going to spare you, bro. This is the first and last time. Yeah, you heard what I just said. You sparing yourself. Because if God gave him the power to take out a lion and a bear, what you think he going to give me the power to do to you? You sparing yourself. Smart man. I'm saying, because I ain't pressed about nothing. I ain't worried about nothing. I don't be looking behind my back too much. But that was chapter 56 and 57. Y'all want to go to 58? You know what? I want to go to 58. Let's go to 58. Prayer for the punishment of the wicked. For the choir director set to Al-Tashi, a Makatim of David. Do you indeed speak righteous, O gods? Do you judge uprightly, O sons of men? No, in your heart, you work unrighteousness. On earth, you weigh out the violence of your hand. The wicked are estranged from the womb. These who speak lies go astray from birth. They have venom like the venom of a serpent, like a deaf crow that stops up its ears, so that it does not hear the voice of the charmers, or a skillful caster of spells. O God, shatter their teeth in their mouth. Break out the fangs of the young lions, O Lord. Let them flow away like water that runs off. When he aims his arrow, let him be as a headless shaft. Let them be as a snail which melts away as it goes along, like the miscarriage of a woman which never sees the sun. Before your pots can feel the fire of the thorn, he will sweep them away with a whirlwind, the green and the burning of light. The righteous will rejoice when he sees vengeance. He will wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, and men will say, surely there is a reward for the righteous. Surely there is a God who judges on earth. And that was Psalms 58. I just wanted to keep going. Keisha B, he started. No, I did not. Stop your. Hey, listen. Keisha B was the first one in here, so she seen everything. Stop your trolling, my boy. See, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no cuss out the troll stuff tonight. I'm feeling pretty gracious, so I'm giving you some leeway. I ain't even giving you the cuss words, because I'm not feeling like that tonight. I'm feeling much better. Feeling much better tonight. Like, God is good no matter what's going on. You feel me? And I won't cap to y'all. You always feel better when that money clear. When that check clear, you always feel better. I don't give a damn what's going on. You got some money in that account. It's like millionaire mission, baby. We on the way. You got that money in that account, and then you got some more money on your back. It's like, hey, man, it's a good feeling, man. And the bills paid. It's a good feeling. You feel me? It's a good feeling. Now, emotionally and like relationshipally, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there because we don't want to go down. We want to stay up. You just said $1 million mission, baby. We gotta be up. 1-800-Jesus. That's my account number. 1-800-Jesus. Don't forget the Christ. You gotta put the Christ. 1-800-Jesus Christ. Come save my life. All right, we in the tax books. Did any of y'all catch any of this tax stuff? Listen, I've been reading. I'm only like on page 14, and this book right here is so complicated because he's bringing excerpts, like he's taking stuff from out of the tax code and putting it in here, but it's so small in the fine print that I literally, it's the regular print up here, this the fine print. I literally got to get my phone and zoom in on the fine print to read it, but I've been reading it because I want y'all to see it. Yeah, I'm all that stinking thinking. We got to get rid of that because Keisha, that stinking thinking is not. Remember, I was reading that positive book, and one of the gems. If y'all knew, he'll appreciate y'all for coming. But I'm gonna give y'all one of the gems that I've been trying to hold on to and not forget. One of the gems that I got from that positive book was everything starts in your mind. So you gotta have positive thoughts, because when you have positive thoughts, you have positive words. When you have positive words, then you start, interacting with positive things and having positive action. And positive actions turns into positive habits. And your habits become you, like the character who you are. You're a positive person, no matter what's going on. And that was the issue with the positive stuff, because it was like you have to be positive when the most negative shit has happened to you. Let's just say somebody you love just died. You still have to be positive. Like, you know how hard that is in real life, in real time life. Let's say your check was supposed to be $2,000 and you get your check and it's $500. You know how hard it is to be positive with something like, and your bills still do though. You still got rent, you still got the payment, car payment, your kids still need stuff, and you got this $500 check that's missing like $1,500 more dollars. It's hard to stay positive. So that's why, like, and before I read that book, I used to always say, like, I wanted to be happy and, like in a joyful mood. But I was like, that's not realistic to be in a happy and joyful mood all the time, because somebody's going to cut you off in traffic. That's going to make you cuss them out. Somebody in your family might die. That's going to make you sad. So it's things, and like your job, you might be doing an excellent job, the best at your job, and somebody at your job go snitch on you about something you ain't even do. Now your boss talking to you about something you ain't doing. You telling him, hey, go look at the camera. I didn't do that. And he like, oh, yeah, they told me you did it. Like, bro, go look at the camera. I didn't do that. So it's things in life that will make you upset to try to keep you from having that positive mindset. But trust and believe me, I tell y'all, I ain't gonna say things were perfect, but my peace of mind was better the more I can hold on to that, be positive through whatever. My peace of mind was better. Yeah, we don't do no crashing out over here. We crashed out the other night. You missed that part, bro. Like, we ain't going backwards. We already been there. You got to go back and watch the other. Oh, you can't even watch that video, because you know what? I ain't even like crashing out on the video. So you can't even go back and watch that. But let's start right here. The meaning of voluntary compliance and self-assessment. Now, from what I can get from this book so far, this is a book that's telling you the federal mafia. It's telling you the IRS is robbing you. You basically volunteer your information to the IRS when there's no rule that tell you you have to do that. I'm gonna put this. This is simplest way I can tell y'all this. If you buy a piece of property, right? You know what's gonna happen with that property? The government's gonna send you a tax bill. That means you didn't have to go out and assess your property and see how it looked or what's wrong. No, the government did whatever they wanted to do, and they sent you a bill and say, hey, you have to pay this property tax. And if you don't pay it, we might just come take the property, right? Same thing with your job. You get a W-2 or a W-4, even if you 1099. The government must figure out for themselves. Because if you W-10-4 or whatever, the company automatically sending the government your stuff anyway, so they know what you made. So just how they take the property tax and assess it and tell you how much you owe, they're supposed to take your work stubs, your check stubs, and tell you how much you owe. Because let's say you go to H&R Block, right, with your tax papers and what you got. So what H&R Block is going to do, they're going to fill out all the paperwork and send it to the IRS. But in all actuality, you're supposed to just have them fill out all the paperwork and give it to you. So now they telling you, oh, you owe the government $1,000 and they owe you back $4,000. Now you got all this good information, but you ain't sent it in yet like you normally do every year, right? Because that's what you do every year. You just go get somebody to do your taxes, and or if you know how to do your taxes, you get your taxes, then you sign that little paper that say, under penalty of law, this is correct. And if it's not correct, you can charge me, come take my stuff, come do whatever you're going to do. Send that in. That is voluntary. You have been the meaning of voluntary compliance and self-assessment. You have self-assessed yourself and you have voluntarily sent them taxes in, because there's no rule in the tax code that tells you must do that. The government must do that for you. They must assess your taxes and give you a bill. That's why I say when you go to H&R Block and they give you your taxes, instead of letting them send them to the government, you say, give me my paperwork. Now you have a file with your taxes for 2024. So when the government brings you a tax bill, which they're not going to do because they're so busy that they can't access everybody's taxes, that's why they depend on the voluntary. They depend on you to volunteer your information and tell them what's going on, because they're so busy that they can't get to it. So they depend on you to volunteer that information, and they use specific wording to trick us into thinking it's like a rule that we supposed to file these taxes. That's how we are getting duped into filing. All right, bless up. Go on and enjoy your night. Y'all have a good one. Catch y'all next time. Appreciate you stopping through as always. Keisha B, I'm gonna have to make her a moderator. She be up in here. So let's continue, y'all. You guys, we learning the meaning of voluntary compliance and self-assessment. How the government done tricked us and duped us into paying income taxes that we ain't supposed to pay. No, let me correct that. You're supposed to pay income taxes, but what you're supposed to do is, like I said, you go to H&R Block, you get them to file up all the paperwork, and then don't send nothing to the IRS. Give it to me. She probably is. When you're married, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm taking my wife to Pound Town every night. What you thought? What you over there with your 5-finger girlfriends going to Whack-A-Mole City? What I was saying. She be throwing me off with the trolling, man. Stop trolling, bro. You throwing me off. But I was talking about them taxes. Oh yeah, you supposed to go to H&R Block, let the file the taxes, file all the paperwork, but give it to you. Don't file it in, just give it to you. Because the government is supposed to come tell you, hey, you work this much, you owe us this much. Then you supposed to pull out your H&R Block folder, look at it, and compare it and say, hey, your files don't match up with my files, because my files say I only owe you $1,000 and you owe me $4,000, and you telling me I owe you $4,000 and you owe me $1,000. So our numbers ain't matching up. So we need to do some more recalculating. You need to do some more recalculating, because I did the work, and this how much I made, and this, you got to compare apples to apples. But when you buy a piece of property and they send you a tax property, they just send you the bill. You know what I'm saying? You don't go out and access nothing. So why would you have to access all the taxes for the year that you done been working? No, they need to give you a bill, but they have us tricked. So let's go. The meaning of voluntary compliance and self-assessment. Okay. While the reader might need to have the meaning of self-assessment explained, the meaning of voluntary compliance should be perfectly clear. Voluntary compliance can only mean can only mean that compliance with the income tax law is voluntary and that you can comply or not comply as you choose. Actually, the term voluntary compliance makes no sense. If something is voluntary, then the word compliance is superficial. If, on the other hand, compliance is compulsionary, then any use of the word voluntary is nonsensical. It should be perfectly evident why the government contrived this self-contradictory expression. Have you ever heard of it in any connection with anything else? The government feared that if it correctly used the solitary word voluntary to describe federal income taxes, the nature of the tax would become immediately apparent. So it added the word compliance, seeking in this way to fool the public by the mandatory meaning the word conveys. The government relied on the ingenuous public not to notice the preceding word voluntary, rendered the latter word compliance meaningless. And the American public in overwhelming measures didn't let the government down. Okay? This is what we at right here. Confusing the public on the meaning of voluntary compliance. In addition to using deliberately deceptive, though technically not false, language in its official publications, IRS employees from the top to the bottom lie profusely. Though some are obviously just merely ignorant concerning the law that they believe they are enforcing in letter, and in the law that they believe they are enforcing in the letter and in conversations with the public and in all tax prosecutions and civil litigations. In all my civil and criminal litigations, I never once came across an attorney for either the IRS or the tax division of the Justice Department who told me the truth about federal income taxes. Numerous examples appear in the following chapters. On the top of all this, the government gets total support from a duplicitous federal judiciary who will not only boldly lie from the bench about alleged requirements under our income tax laws, but in furtherance of the government's mammoth deception, it helps it intimidate the public by conducting illegal trials and by knowingly sending innocent people to jail. So if our all-powerful federal judiciary is willing to collectively lie about this tax and to close ranks and sending innocent people to jail, who's going to challenge it on this issue? It should also be obvious that if I have devoted the next 200 pages of this book trying to convince you of something that the government has already told you at least a dozen times is voluntary, then somebody has done a number on you, on your psyche. The red light story. If you ask the IRS or anyone else in government for that matter the meaning of voluntary compliance, you will get a lot of double talk. When I first concluded the filing income tax returns was voluntary, based on some of the government documents and statements shown herein, I decided to check out my conclusion with the IRS. I called and asked if filing an income tax return based on voluntary. I called and asked, is filing an income tax return based on voluntary compliance? It is, I was told. In that case, I said, I don't want to volunteer. You have to volunteer, I was informed. If I have to volunteer, I replied, wouldn't that make compliance compulsionary and not voluntary? No, the agent answered. Voluntary compliance is similar to our motor vehicle laws. You voluntarily stop at a red light, but if you don't, you get a ticket. I objected to this reasoning by pointing out that if I could be ticketed, stopping at a red light or obeying the traffic regulations was compulsionary and not based on voluntary compliance at all. No, the agent insisted, you stopped voluntarily. His reasoning was based on the absurd logic that since nobody was physically in the car making me stop, then I stopped voluntarily. If that is true, then all criminal laws are based on voluntary compliance, since nobody physically prevents anyone from committing murder, rape, bank robberies, etc. But the law enforcement people never claim that those laws are based on voluntary compliance. The agent, of course, was trying to confuse me. Although he himself might have been confused, the IRS obviously indoctrinates all new agents with the red light story. so that they will be able to confuse the public if the question ever comes up. Figure 1 through 5 and 1 through 6 prove that the government realizes that while income taxes are based on voluntary compliance, other taxes statutes are not. Figure 1 through 5 contains testimony by D.E. White Avis, then the head of Alcohol and Tobacco Tax Division of the IRS, given to a House Representative Subcommittee of the Committee of Ways and Means, when it held its hearings on administration of the Internal Revenue Service laws. He states on page 12, let me point this out now. Your income tax is 100% voluntary tax, and your liquor tax is 100% enforced tax. Now the situation is as different as night and day. Consequently, your same rules just will not apply. Emphasis added. I also recently wrote to the Department of Treasury, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and asked them if those taxes were based on voluntary compliance. Look what they wrote back. Figure 1 through 6. They left no doubt that their collection is created by an enacted law, and so compliance automatically becomes mandatory, and that in response to my specific question, the collection of tobacco and alcohol taxes originate from the statutes, and as a result, compliance is mandatory. Did you notice that I didn't get any red light story from them? Along the same lines, it is obvious that if the 10 Commandments were based on voluntary compliance, the Bible would have referred to Moses' stone tables as the 10 suggestions. The meaning of self-assessment. As you will soon discover, federal income taxes by law have to be assessed just like city property taxes. City property taxes, however, are assessed by city assessors and not by property owners assessing themselves on the basis of self-assessment. Cities and towns are empowered by law to assess and levy property taxes and do not have to rely on the willingness of property owners to voluntarily assess themselves under a system of self-assessment. But in accordance with the self-assessment nature of the income tax, unless Americans voluntarily elect to assess income taxes against themselves by sending in a tax return and swearing they owe a tax that by statute they cannot possibly owe, the federal government has no statutory authority to make such an income tax asset on its own initiative. And without such a voluntary self-assessment, no income tax by law can be owed to the federal government. How the government has been breaking the law in order to illegally assess income tax on its own initiative, thus disregarding the principle of self-assessment, is covered in Chapter 5. While the government can make assessments with respect to other mandatory federal taxes, it is legally barred from doing so in connection with income taxes. As a matter of fact, the federal government does not even have the legal authority to even estimate how much income tax a non-filer supposedly owes, let alone harass or prosecute him if he chooses not to voluntarily self-assess himself to pay taxes altogether. Now that you know the real nature of federal income taxes, we will turn to examining why the tax is voluntary and why it is based on self-assessment. The federal government would dearly love to have it otherwise, but thanks to a constitution that is all but dead, it can't. Notes to Chapter 1. Okay, first note. It is actually correct to speak of income tax laws since there really aren't any. Laws by definition are based on compulsory compliance and includes penalties for non-compliance. Laws based on voluntary compliance are not laws by definition. Neither the Internal Revenue Code nor the U.S. Criminal Code, as you will discover, contain any penalties in connection with income taxes, which is why compliance with it is voluntary. Note number 2. An example of a false government interference informed the Justice Department no less. There is no such thing as an income tax liability. See Chapter 6. Yet this fraudulent claim is constantly repeated in the government documents. Note number 3. Tax protesters is the word that the government coined to throw the public off track regarding Americans who have discovered the truth about income taxes. that under law they are not required to file and pay the tax. By this label, the public is supposed to believe that tax protesters protest the law pursuant to weird and irresponsible ideals, when in fact they all obey the law. If they protest anything, it is the illegal enforcement. However, not all tax protesters have an equal understanding as to why they are not required to file or pay. Some actually find it inconceivable that the law is actually enforced as illegally as it is, so that they incorrectly theorize as to how the government superstitiously got jurisdiction over them, which they then take unnecessary and often bizarre steps to avoid. Others explain their non-tax status in terms far more complex than necessary, and in doing so actually attribute far more legality to the income tax than it deserves. While some tax protesters may be in the wrong, they are all in the right church. In describing what tax protesters allegedly believe, the government never ascribes to them the reason presented in this book, but always attributes to them reasons that sound weird and irresponsible. For example, look at how Commerce Clearinghouse described tax protesters in Standard Federal Report, 73rd edition. According to the IRS and the Congress, the courts, taxpayers represent a major threat to our, according to the IRS, the Congress, and the courts, tax protesters represent a major threat to our voluntary compliance system of reporting revenue. To attack the variety of protest activities, significant deterrents to the use of tax protest tactics have been added to the law in the form of immediate accessible penalties against individuals filing tax protest documents, and imposition of damages for institutions preceding the tax court, primarily for delay. The imposition of damages where an appeal for the tax court is filed merely for delay. Arguments to the effect that the income tax is unconstitutional or that compliance with the income tax law infringes upon one or more of the taxpayers' protesters' constitutional rights have been summarily rejected by the courts. The constitutional rights which are allegedly violated include the right to freedom of religion, the Fifth Amendment privilege against self-discrimination, the 13th Amendment prohibitive involuntary servitude, and the claim that the tax court is unconstitutional unconstitutional court. Some arguments have centered on the federal revenue system. Other forms of the protest which frequently occur include submission of a blank tax form by a protester, the assertion that the wages do not constitute income, erroneous claims of deductions, credits, or adjustments to income, and claims by organizations that they qualify as churches. Note that in describing tax protesters, the Commerce Clearinghouse itself admits that the income tax is voluntary, but then refuses to ascribe this as one of the reasons tax protesters believe they are not required to pay taxes. Why do you suppose this is? Note 4. This book contains references to many individuals, including teachers, lawyers, students, etc., which obviously include members of both sexes for ease in reading, however, not meant to be discriminatory. I will use the simply he or she rather than the couple he, she when necessary throughout the remaining chapters. Obviously, no one can be required to pay estimated taxes or submit to withholding, since this would amount to paying federal income taxes before they were assessed. That's why you're not supposed to volunteer that information. And that, when we come back, we're on chapter 2. It say why an income tax must be voluntary. That's where we at when we come back. We're on chapter 2. It say why income tax must be voluntary. Hey, listen, man. It's been good kicking it with y'all. I ain't really sleepy. I might play my game and come back a little bit. I might let y'all tap in with me on the game. I ain't really sleepy right now, but I need to get my sleep. So we're going to splash in the fishbowl and splash in Sleepland. And I'm saying we already ate. Got some water right here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to splash in Sleepland, get us some rest so we could drop this satchel in the morning and be on the way to get another one. Make sure you're on your millionaire mission out there. Make sure you subscribe if you ain't subscribed. If you're watching this on the replay, hit the like button. Subscribe for me. You can find the clothing on Instagram. Just put a 1 in front of million. and the clothing at the end. 1 million mission clothing. You can DM me the colors that you like, and we'll get you right. All right? All right, all right. Don't think because I'm on the road that you can't get your clothes shipped out. You understand me? I got workers. I got people that's working with me. They want me to succeed. You understand me? I got you. Splashing in the fishbowl, my bad. Hey, y'all, I'm tripping out on these 2K subscribers. Y'all believe that we done hit 2K subscribers that quick? Almost at like 2,500. I ain't checked back, but we was almost at 2,500 subscribers last night. On the way to 5K subscribers. We're going to get 100K subscribers, have that plaque in the back with 100K subscribers, and we're going to have a $100,000 check from YouTube. You dig. Speak that shit into existence, and then get out there and work like nobody has your back, and grind like you ain't got no friends. It's only 24 hours in a day. You ain't got a minute to hate. Get off your ass and go get you some cash. It'll make you feel better. Splashing in the fishbowl. That has been another episode. Milkman, Mr. Milk-tastic, coming back at you just like that. And if you missed it, hit the replay. Baby.